Morning, everybody. David Shapiro here with a quick video. So a few days ago, I started my Discord. It was requested by popular demand, and in just like 2 or 3 days, I have over 80 people. So I was expecting like maybe a dozen people, but this is a wonderful problem to have. It far outstrips anything I had expected. And I'm quickly learning about how to organize a community this large. So one thing that I wanted to do while doing a audio test, because what we're going to do is there's so many good conversations, I'm going to try and host discussions as a podcast. But anyways, there's a bunch of people that are new to Discord or new to Discord this large. And so what I wanted to do was just have a quick tutorial about threads. So say for instance, you've got a channel and it goes and goes and goes and you've got hundreds of responses. And so what do? Well, rather than making more channels, so the little hashtag introductions, hashtag fiction, whatever, that's a channel. What you can do is you can do a sidebar conversation. And so how do you do that? Well, first, what you do is let's just go to, let's see, this guy, he asks a question. So we'll say, all you do to start a thread, here, let me show you again, is you just hit the hashtag with the little comment button. You say, this is a test thread. And so there it creates the thread and it keeps it in the sidebar like this, right? You can, let's see, where is it? Somewhere you can rename it. I think it's up here. Leave thread, so you can leave it, you can mute it, you can edit it. So I'll just say like test thread, save changes, exit. And so now there's a test thread. And you can see that also pops up over here. And let me zoom in a little bit. So test thread, and then if you click on it here, let me zoom back out. If you click on it here, then it becomes your primary focus. So that makes it a little bit easier to focus entirely on just one specific thread. And then because this is a larger server and it's growing, if you lose a thread, you just click on active threads and it'll show all of them here. And so you can say like, oh, I wanted to talk about, oh, this is where we were talking about automation replacing people. You can go up here and actually hang on, my dog's barking. Okay, and we're back and you can see my dog. There he is. That's Tank. He likes to bark a lot. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Bring the microphone back. All right, sorry about that. Yes, okay, so that's threads. Another thing you can do is if you're not participating in a thread, sometimes it doesn't show up here. So if you're looking, so you can click here for all threads, but if you remember that there was a thread in a particular channel, you can go here and click this, and it'll show you just the threads in this channel. And then one last thing is to see pinned messages. In the rules one, I have this one pinned, but there's only one message. But to see pinned messages, you click the little pin up here. So, looks like nobody jumped in to the chat. That's okay. We'll do a recording test later, but I did want to just give a walkthrough about like, here's how to do threads in here. So I did add a fifth rule to the server, which is use threads, and that's just to keep it accessible. So basically what happened was a few different people messaged me and they said like, this is great, but I can only check every now and then, and the conversation goes too fast. So that led to two things. One, which is use threads, so that way conversations can stay organized and people don't get left behind. But then two, we're going to do a podcast. So the podcast will be, we're just going to basically discuss, like create an audio version discussing the things that we've been talking about in here. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if anyone will show up, but we'll see. So once again, just reviewing the rules. Keep it cool, be kind. This is meant to be a chill place and a positive experience for all. Not everyone is a native English speaker, so be patient. Number two, discussion, not debate. This isn't Reddit. This is a research group for collaboration, education, and sharing. We're not here to prove anything right or wrong. And that leads to rule number three, agree to disagree. You're not here to convince anyone of anything, nor are you required to change your mind. We are bringing many different ideas and disciplines together, so there will be misunderstandings and disagreements. That's okay. That's part of the process. Beliefs and evidence. Share your beliefs and evidence. They are yours and no one can take that from you. Respect other people's beliefs and evidence. Number 5, use threads. As this community grows, there is a need to keep conversations organized. Don't be shy about creating threads so that the community remains accessible for everyone. Yes, so something I learned about building communities is that you want to have kind of a high threshold of entry. It's better to exclude people that are not going to play by the rules because disruptive people will drive away the good people. And, just because someone is the most assertive or loudest doesn't mean that they're the smartest or kindest or best community member. And so that's one of the reasons that I set the rules as I did. But yeah, so that's simple. There was something else I wanted to mention. Diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility are big here. One of the things that you learn when you study accessibility and diversity is that when you make an environment more accessible to like anyone with disabilities or people of different ethnicities or people with language difficulties, it actually gets better for everyone. There are stories of like, you make, what was it? My girlfriend and I were talking about anything that's disability accessible. Right? There are certain widths that doors need to be, thresholds need to be completely smooth, that sort of stuff. We went to a hotel, and I was just like, why does this room feel different? And she's like, oh, this is disability accessible because all the doors were really wide, everything was really spacious, and there was no thresholds anywhere. It was all perfectly smooth, and I was like, I really like this aesthetic. Like to me, it was an aesthetic thing, but it felt more accommodating, and that was like, oh yeah, like if you make it accessible for people in wheelchairs or with other mobility issues, it actually becomes more accessible to everyone, because the bathroom was really big, right? And so like the bathroom was big, the shower was big, the entry hall was big, and I just never felt cramped or claustrophobic. And the same applies to all kinds of stuff. So for instance, when we do the podcast, we're going to follow a format that is used all over the place. This is a format that's used in 12-step programs. It's used in conflict mediation. It's used in our writing group. This is actually where I learned it. But basically, we're going to have like one person talking or presenting. That'll be for 5 to 15 minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll do a round robin where everyone gets to share their thoughts and reactions to the presentation one at a time. Right? So we don't have people that are going to be talking over each other. We're not going to do crosstalk. Everyone will get a chance to just speak their mind, in a minute or two about the topic. And then after everyone who wants to have a chance, because again, some people are going to be shy, some people are going to be introverted, some people it takes them a while to gather their thoughts. Not everyone is like, quick on the draw like I am. I am just ready to talk all the time. And so, but by creating a structure that says like, okay, Dave, it's not your turn to talk. It's this person's turn to talk. You make it safer and more accessible to everyone. And then once everyone has a chance to talk, then we'll switch to a normal conversation, a free for all. So every topic that we talk about on the podcast will have 3 phases. There'll be the presentation phase, the round robin phase, and then the free for all phase. Yeah, okay. Well, unfortunately, it looks like nobody jumped into the podcast. That's fine. I do this spontaneously. Mostly, I just wanted to record this video about rules, how to run a community, and just encourage this Discord community to keep going. We've already got so many incredible people involved. We've got lawyers. We've got people in all levels of their career and academia. We've got people with children, people without children. We've got artists. We've got people that have traveled a lot. We've got polyglots. It's just, I never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that so many people would gather so quickly. And this was like not even my idea. Like this is what y'all asked for. And also like it just hit me yesterday. Like this is like the people involved already and the people that could become involved. Like this is a group that can like change the world. And I see myself not as like a leader, but as a servant, right? Like I'm just sharing my ideas, and then people asked me to create this space where they could come together and talk, and that's what I did, right? And then people asked for the audio channels for accessibility because some people struggle with typing or reading. They prefer verbal communication. I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. Then people like wanted a podcast so that way they could digest the whole thing without having to sit on it every day. Because like some people have children or day jobs or whatever. They can't sit in front of a Discord channel all day long. And so I see myself more as a servant rather than a leader, or leader as servant. Anyways, I'm rambling now. Just wanted to introduce the Discord channel, my Discord server, which is the Cognitive AI Lab. There we go. And then also talk about the upcoming podcast. So I think that we're going to be recording the podcast Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. U.S. East time. And we'll see how it goes. Obviously, this is an evolving process, but this is what people wanted, and it aligns with my goals professionally and personally. So here we go. Thanks for watching.